This week, here in Nerdland, we were appalled to learn that Ohio schools leader Debbie Terhar has called for banning Toni Morrison's 1970 novel, The Bluest Eye, from the state's Common Core recommended reading list for 11th graders. Now, Terhar describes the book as pornographic and said, quote, "I don't want my grandchildren reading it, and I don't want anyone else's children reading it. It should not be used in any school for any Ohio K through 12 child." Really? You don't want your children to read Morrison, the last American to have received the Nobel Prize in Literature, who is from your state, Ohio, and you're on the Board of Education. Listen, besides the obvious anti-intellectualism inherent in banning books as a general practice, the attack on The Bluest Eye is especially egregious. Through the story of Pecola Breedlove, the text tackles difficult themes of incest, abuse, poverty, racism, and internalized shame. But the primary narrator of The Bluest Eye is Claudia, and Claudia is a child, and she's Pecola's classmate. Now, Claudia is not sophisticated or experienced enough to understand the reasons for the awful events that she witnesses, but Claudia has an unfettered emotional insight into the darkness and brutality of racism and abuse. And because so much of the story is in Claudia's voice, Morrison brings young readers not through a gauntlet of pornographic horror, but into a deep, empathetic connection with trauma and suffering. In fact, this is precisely the kind of book that teens ought to read to develop both mind and heart. Great books, like The Bluest Eye, allow us to imagine and encounter our challenges and difficulties in the relative safety of our classroom so that we have tools to confront real-life struggles. When she learned of the Ohio State Board of Education's attempt to ban the novel, Toni Morrison responded, "I resent it." Well, Nerdland agrees. So we are encouraging our readers, you, to read a banned book this week. You can find a list of some good ones on our website, mhpshow.com. And hey, tweet or Facebook us to tell us about your favorite banned book. We're going to add it to our list.